Hello, hello, salut. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yan Sui Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yan Sui witchcraft. All roads go to Rome. Home. Oh, hi. How you doing? Okay, so I've done all of the videos for all the different cards. So you can. My goal was to have the playlist for the tarot card all done. I wanted all the videos done, so that's why I did them really fast. Because I'd rather people watch them, by going to the order and scrolling through it and pick which ones you want to watch instead of watch them as I made them. But to get a working Kabbalah, you'd want to watch all of them. You got to know every card if you're going to have, a working ability with the cards and everything. But it comes time to do the 11th sphere, and so that's quite a subject. Okay. So the 11th sphere is called Daath, D-A-A-T-H. Okay, this video is on the hidden sphere, the 11th sphere in the Sephirot of the Kabbalah named Daath. Daath. The Hebrew word Daath means knowledge. It is where the name Darth Vader comes from, allegedly. If you ask someone from Boston to say Darth with their accent, they would say Daath. Daath, like you can guess, is the dark side of the Force, you might say. The Sephirot can be called the tree of life, as you know, but it can also be called the day side of the tree. Daath is the night side of the tree, the shadow side of the 10 Sephirot. Like in the Garden of Eden, we had the tree of life, which is to say the day side, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which would be the night side. Remember, Daath means knowledge. Daath, as the 11th sphere, is placed under the high priestess. Let's look at the chart. Okay, so the 11th sphere is right here, right on the abyss. This is because it is the shadow side of all the spheres, including those across the abyss. If you saw my video on the devil card, you saw the third eye of the devil. Everything, including what's good, including what's neutral, including what's across the abyss, has its shadow side. This is why Daath is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. To have a real knowledge of how things work, you must also know of the 11th sphere. Daath, like I said, you might call the dark side of the Force. If you saw my video on the moon card, you learned about what the day side of the Force is at night. The light of the moon being the light of the sun. And you also heard mention of the dark side of the moon, Kof. The dark side of the 9th sphere, Yesod, whose planet is the moon. Yesod being the astral realm, purple. I will leave a link to that scene from Star Wars 3 where the evil emperor, get it? The shadow side of the emperor card, explains to Anakin about Darth Plagueis the Wise, a story of a Sith Lord that learns a deeper knowledge than a Jedi, the dark side of knowledge. All the spheres inside us all the pathways, the Sephirot is the map of the universe inside of us. So the dark side of Yahweh is Satan. They are one and the same. When Jesus was talking to Satan during his 40-day fast, he was conversing with the devil inside himself. And even the devil has its day and night sides. Anyway, we know, like you saw in my video on the devil card, that to really know oneself, we must have some knowledge of our shadow selves. I will do another video on that, on the shadow work, as it's called. Calling it shadow work is about as deep as I go in this direction. To have a working Kabbalah, you just need to know about as much as I go over in this video, in my opinion. And most of what anyone could say about a subject like this is just personal gnosis anyway. Interestingly, gnosis also means knowledge. If you want to go deep, you can read Arthur Edward Waite's book called The Book of Black Magic, but it's not my thing. A little baneful magic at best, maybe, but my thing is white goodness, positivity. We have all heard of Aleister Crowley's extreme interest in Daath. Daath is guarded by two beings, Shukal and Koronson. And on my video on the moon, I mentioned how witchcraft can be dangerous. Anyway, Crowley is famous for knowing Choronson. Here's one of Crowley's sketch of Choronson. Choronson is the demon of the abyss, the shadow of the abyss, though there would be many demons in the shadow. Maybe Shukal and Choronson are head honchos on the dark side of the force, who knows? I don't. It's not my cup of tea. I imagine, like everything else in magic, you need to find your own personalization in your working Kabbalah and to go that direction. And you can go deeper in some areas than others. I recommend these two directions. This book, Tarot Shadow Work, and this book, Astral Travel for Beginners. Beyond that, I just care about protection, not war.